Okay, so now we're going into Matthew chapter 24. So this is the end times. Okay, so Jesus is going to describe the end times. His disciples asked him, like, you know, basically what's going to happen. How do we know when the end times is coming? And Jesus went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. And Jesus said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. Okay? So Jesus is basically stating that the temple was going to be destroyed again, right? And this is a prophecy that he has spoken, and it came true, which more confirms who he is. The temple was destroyed after that when the Roman Empire destroyed it the second time, okay? So the Babylonians destroyed it the first time, and then the Roman Empire destroyed it the second time. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming, and of the end of the world? Okay, so if you go back to the other video that I just made in Matthew, we know that Jesus, he prophesied his death and his rising on the third day, right? And so now they're asking him, how do we know when you coming back? How do we know when the end times are, right? And Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. Okay? He said, so in that time, you just take heed that no man deceive you, because there's going to be all type of people who are going to try to deceive you. You got people spreading false narratives. You got these pastors who are pretenders, So, you even got these pastors who are, homosexual. So you got to stay away from the people who will deceive you, right? Beware of the people who are deceiving others, okay? For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. Okay? So it's people who are going to come in his name, all right? And they're going to pretend like they are the Messiah. Just like the depiction of Christ in the picture that goes around that everybody has. It's in every church. It's like if you Google it right now, you type in Jesus, you'll see that same picture. That's Caesar Borgia, okay? And that's a fake Christ, okay? We know that Christ was a black man, very dark-skinned man with woolly hair, okay? The depiction was written in the Bible, okay? It said that there will be no picture of Christ. There will only be the word on how he describing him, okay? So don't fall for the fake Christ, okay? So we know that Christianity isn't real, okay? The real Christians were the followers of Christ, okay? Christianity is another doctrine that was created and infiltrating the real practice of Christianity, okay? Okay. So they made Mary, they made all the apostles, they made them all white when they were black people, okay? So, and then they made Christmas and Thanksgiving. Those are not holy days, those are holidays, okay? So they basically infiltrated the whole Bible and created their own religion off of falsifications and then pretend that they were the people of the Bible, okay? Which are the Jews, the Israelites, okay? So it's deceit on a very high level. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, okay? So right now we're hearing about the wars, right? And rumors of wars, right? China. Now the rumor is China taking over Taiwan, which is going to really set NATO and face off with China, right? So China is teaming up with Soviet Union, which is Russia, and its allies. You know, that's basically, you know, because Russia is taking Ukraine back from NATO, right? So NATO already got to worry about Russia, because if Russia decides to go into Poland, if it gets into Poland, Poland is NATO. So World War III is on the way. The war has already started. It's going to be wars and rumors of wars, right? So the war is coming our way. It's coming to America, right? Because now Russia is strategizing a strike on the U.S. and the potential target will be somewhere on the West Coast. California is the primary target, Los Angeles, right? They're trying to hit Los Angeles, California, right? Other targets could be Washington, Oregon, Canada, Mexico. So we just seen in a movie, we don't know if it's factual, so we're going to say allegedly it takes a nuclear strike from Russia to the US 30 minutes to hit its target. 30 minutes to hit its target. We have a weapons response team that can identify a missile launching within half that time. Within half that time, we'll have responses of knowing about the missile and being able to take it down. We have to take it down. They have to shoot it while it's in the air, so it don't hit the target. But if they're doing multiple missiles, and they only have 12 minutes to shoot it down before it hits its target, what are the likeliness that America, oh my God, they can wipe out a whole city just like that, right? So, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. Okay, so you have nations rising up against other nations, right? Kingdom against kingdom, right? And there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places, okay? So we know that there's food shortages, okay? There's places that can't grow food. The soil is so bad that they can't even grow food anymore, right? Pestilence and pesticides, diseases and uncleanness, right? Earthquakes, right? All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you. Okay, so now he's speaking of military operations, FEMA camps, the purge, wickedness beyond imagination that we can see now. You know, we have movies on how crazy things, zombies, you know, martial law. And ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Okay. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. So that's what they are doing now, okay? Because they are offended. We're in the White House now. They have African Americans in the White House now. So now they're betrayed and they're offended, right? So they're fighting against, you got good white people fighting for black people against bad white people who hate black people. You know, now they going against each other. You have the Republicans versus the Democrats. Everybody trying to get the black vote. Everybody trying to get behind the black people to win the elections and win domination, win control of the black people. But really, they all have a hatred for black people. They're just using us as pawns because we are their slaves. Right? They're rallying up their slaves. Right? And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. Okay, you have false prophets like what's that guy's name? He's in jail now. You got the Egyptology guy. He just went to jail. He was a false prophet. He was speaking about the 666, 6 neutrons, 6 protons. It all equals up to melanin. That was a lie. We know that that's carbon. Okay. So you have false prophets that's going to tell you and deceive people, and if people don't have information, knowledge, and wisdom, understanding, they're going to be led astray, right? They are the lost sheep, right? You have these teachers, and like we were talking about earlier, these pastors, false prophets, right? And they Sunday schools and in their churches, they're giving out ham sandwiches and pork meat, right? Rib plates, right? And then they making you pay for them after you just already then donated 10% of your funds. And they ain't helping none of the youth with no jobs. Now they got homosexuals preaching the word. And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. You guys got to hear that, man. And because iniquity, which is sin, shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. That's why it's so cold out here, because there's so much sin out here. That's why they say in summertime it's cold. It's cold out here. So you got a cold heart. Because it's iniquity out here. Family don't even get along. We can't even get together. There's so much iniquity out here. Everybody is getting betrayed. Right? But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. Okay, so we have to endure unto the end. Right? And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. Okay, so everybody gonna have to learn that the Israelites are the Jews, the black African Americans are the Jews. Okay, you have Kanye, the richest black man who's successful in the world right now, in America right now, coming out saying it on national television, all over social media and Twitter and Instagram and YouTube that we are the black Jews, we are Jews, and that we need a flag, we need a country, and our people, we need to be a nation under God, right? In the laws and the ways of the Bible, right? How it teaches us our culture, right? It's our culture, our history, right? So it has to be preached all over the world so that all nations can hear, and they're going to rise and understand that they've been lied to. They've inherited lies, right? It's actually a script in the Bible, right? That the heathen, they're going to realize that they inherited lies from, their forefathers, right? You're not the real Jews. You are the Edomites, right? So it's going to be preached into all nations. Then the end shall come. So we know that it has to be out there. It has to be outspoken. So Kyrie Irving is coming out. You have Kendrick Lamar coming out. You having all these top people coming out, saying this. Okay. So when ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place, whoso readeth, let him understand. Okay, so it's going to be an abomination of desolation. That's going to be horrible. Okay, and it was spoken to. You can read it in the book of Daniel. Okay, Daniel talks about it. Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Okay, so we know that the people in Judea right now are the Edomites, right? We know that the home of the Edomites was Mount Seir, right? So he's giving us a hint who's in Judea, who's taken over Judea right now, the Edomites, right? The ones that are pretending themselves to be the Jews right now, right? He said they're going to flee back into the mountains. We know that their mountains was the Caucasus Mountains for the Caucasians. They always dwelt in the mountains, right? Mountains of Italy, the mountains of, you got to understand their heritage, right? He said in that time, they're going to flee back into their mountains, back to their home, right? Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Right? So they're going to be back in their house. So they can't take anything out of the house that they've taken because they're going to be back in the mountains. Right? Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. Okay, so you ain't gonna come back to get your shit when you leave. My bad. All right, so the rightful owner is gonna come back to his place, right? He gonna bring his peoples back to his place from captivity, right? That's the prophecy. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. Okay, so if you got a baby, it's going to be hard for you in them days because it's already going to be a big tragedy, like the big purge, right? But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. So, okay, the tribulation is going to be worse than the tribulation of Noah's Ark. That's bad. Sodom and Gomorrah. That's horrible. No, nor ever shall be. Okay, so this is going to be the worst. He said he's going to destroy the world by water, then fire, right? So the first time was water. This time it's going to be fire. So it's going to be worse this time. Because he said, and except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, the days shall be shortened. Okay? Okay, so my interpretation of this is basically the elect is going to get salvation. Okay, so the elect is going to survive, but they're going to have shortened days in that time. Okay, it's going to be dark. Okay, it's going to be hard. It's going to be a rough time, you know. So if you're not the elect, basically you're going to be dead in that time. Then if any man shall say unto you, Lo, here is Christ, or there, believe it not. Okay, so it's going to be false Christ. Okay, for there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders. Okay, so they're going to be doing magic, black magic, magician. They do it now. Okay, they're going to have great intelligence of electronics and devices and energies. Okay, tapping into certain energies, and so much that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Because the time is going to be hard. They're going to have something to look forward to. And some people going to be believing that the fake Jesus is the real Jesus. Right? Behold, I have told you before. Wherefore, if they shall say unto you, Behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chamber, believe it not. Okay, so people gonna say he in the desert, let's go. He in secret chamber, believe it not. Okay, because they're gonna try to trick you to how you go with them to believing that's the way of Jesus. Okay, it's even a mindset, even in the mind, he gonna be giving you imaginations of wicked thoughts that gonna portray us to be Jesus, but it's gonna be the false narrative. Okay, so we know that the truth is in his word. He said to read this book, read the scripture. This is what's going to guide you. Okay, for as the lightning cometh out of the east and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Okay, so it's going to be like a light in the sky, right? And we know that the light sets forth in the east. Why the east? Because we know that the east is where? Where's the east? What is they talking about? What's in the east? What place is the east? Huh? The homeland, right? What is the homeland? Jerusalem, right? Mount Sinai is in the east, okay? Okay, so if you can see the picture that I'll put in this video, it's a map, okay? And we know that this is the map of Jerusalem, okay? You see Israel, okay? I don't know why it doesn't say Jerusalem, but that's Jerusalem. And then you have Mount Sinai. You also have Mount Seir, where Esau resided. And this was important for me to put here because Mount Sinai, because of Mount Sinai, the place where the Most High said he will come, the only place that's worthy of him to step foot out of all places on this earth when that time comes, okay? That's the place where Moses met him and got the 10 Commandments written on the stone, okay? All right, and that light is going to shine forth all over, and it's going to start from the east. And that's how you know that's the Son of Man, right? For wheresoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light. Okay? So we know that in those days it's going to be dark. The sun is not going to even give light, right? Even the moon will be darkened, right? And the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Okay? So the stars will fall, okay? And then, so we won't even have the light from the stars. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. Okay, so he's going to come like a light. Okay, so it has to be dark in order to see the Son of Man come, right? All right. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, okay, from the four corners of the earth, okay, that's all over the earth. So we know that the four winds are the angels who exercise the winds of the earth. That's on the four corners of the earth. We read that in what? Enoch, okay? You got to get the book of Enoch and read the book of Enoch to tell you how the whole world is governed and how the Most High God created the world and how he runs the world. Not how he created it, but how he runs the world, okay? So it gives you a lot of more insight and describes the Most High. So Enoch is a very special book to go read, all right? Now, learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is near or nigh. So likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. Ooh, okay. So he's telling you, when you see these signs and these wonders, rumors of wars and stuff like that, the time is near. You have to know the times. A wise man is going to know the times, right? Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. Okay? So we know that this generation is shambles. We can't wait till this generation to pass, because we know that this generation is full of shit. This generation is the worst of all time right now. You feel me? But he said it's not going to pass. This generation is not going to pass until all these things be fulfilled and until he come back. And then that's when things is going to change. Okay? Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. Okay? So no man knows the day and hour, not even the angels who govern this world are on the other higher levels of heaven. They don't even know. Only the Most High. He is the one who created all things. Right? He is the master governor. Right? But as the days of Noah were, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. Okay, so we know in the days of Noah, we know that the Most High destroyed the whole world and saved Noah, right? For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark. Okay? So they was going about life like nothing was going on. They was eating, drinking, getting married, doing all type of things that you do in life, not even knowing at the time of the coming, right? Right? So it's people out here that's doing it from day to day, going about their lives from day to day. It's not even knowing that the time is coming. Okay? It's going to be like the days of Noah. And knew not until the flood came and took them all away, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Okay, so when Jesus come back, it's gonna be like the days of Noah, right? It's gonna shock people. It's gonna come like a thief in the night, right? He said, a thief in the night, right? Then shall two be in the field, the one shall be taken, and the other left. Two women shall be grinding at the mill, and one shall be taken, and the other left. Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doth come. Okay, so keep your eye open for the hour that the Lord comes. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would not have suffered his house to be broken up. Okay, so if the houseman would know what time the thief will come, he will watch for that thief to come and get him and not suffer his house to be caught up, right? So it's the same as the ending of times. We have to know the time, that way we are prepared for the coming of the Most High, right? The Son of Man. Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not, the Son of Man cometh. It says, who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season? Blessed is that servant, whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Okay, and he said, blessed is that servant. He calls us all servants. Even Jesus came as a servant, right? Okay, that man is a servant to his family, creating them a house, making sure they eat, making sure we have food, with a wife who's feeding the family and raising the kids, right? Verily I say unto you, that he shall make him ruler over all his goods. Okay, so you get you a portion, right? From maintaining your portion on earth, you get a portion in heaven, right? But if that evil servant shall say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to smite his fellow servants, and to eat and drink with the drunken, the Lord of that servant shall come in that day when he looketh not for him, and in an hour that he is not aware of. Okay, and shall cut him asunder, and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Okay, so you don't want to be a servant who in that day you getting drunk with the drunken. Okay, and not only drunken with the drunken, doing drugs with the druggies. Say he's going to come in an hour that you're not even aware of, and shall cut you asunder. You can have a car crash, man. You can get hit by, a stray bullet. But you never know. You get a disease. But he said he's going to cut you asunder and appoint your portion, whatever your portion, with the hypocrites. You're going to be judged with the hypocrites, okay? So the judgment that the hypocrites get, that's exactly where you're going to be, right? And he said there's going to be weeping and gnashing of teeth, right? So when you die, we know that people start weeping. They cry, okay? Gnashing of teeth. They get angry, right? So you don't want to get in death in that day. So you got to be doing the right things when he come and visit, okay? We know that that's the ending of the days. And there's other writings of the ending of the days. We have other prophets, and then we also have revelations, okay? So in the book of Enoch, it also talks about it. So that's just to recap, you guys. Your boy Jay, holla back.